Ladies and gentlemen, friends, colleagues, listeners, my goodness me, we've got an interesting one for you this morning. And I say interesting because it's the first person that's really challenged me with pronunciation, and I'm sure I'm going to get it wrong. So I'm going to ask for your forgiveness in advance, Geert. So I've got Geert van Riemsdijk. Okay, so I certainly hope that makes sense and I haven't offended anybody in the family.
So far, so good.
Okay, good. Now, Geert is the Managing Director with VRR, which is Van Riemsdijk Rotterdam. And before we go into the history, which is fantastic and amazing. So we'll be there in a minute, listeners. First question. Why did you agree to come on the podcast?
In general, you forced me to. But I did listen to the previous podcast and I thought it would be fun.
Okay, so first of all, Geert's very honest, and when he says forced, it was in a very friendly but persuasive manner. Now, Geert, I'm so impressed with a couple of things, which I'll come to, but one of the most is your company, 1946. So normally I ask people, how on earth did you get into this business? I don't have to ask you, but can you give us a little bit of history, how it started?
Yeah, sure. My grandfather and his brother founded the company after the Second World War. So we were post-war entrepreneurs who lost their jobs after the Second World War. Sheet metal workers tried to make a way for their living. Started manufacturing car bodies, scaffolding equipment, metal boxes. Later on, my father joined the company in the early 80s, and he thought, when walking around Amsterdam airport, he saw some cans, some boxes standing there, and he thought I could make those aluminium boxes myself. That would be quite easy with the things we've made before. So he went to KLM and talked to purchasing department, said, oh, okay, I can make these boxes for you. Guys start laughing. So you mean a container? Do you have a certification? Do you have everything in place? Obviously, that was not the case, but my father, very strong entrepreneur, made it work, got all the civil aviation authorities and got the certificates and made it work. And from there on, the aviation company was born, so from the early 80s.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. And I'm not going to say this lightly. I've been at many shows and I've looked around, and your stand and the way you boys performed, and I say performed because I was walking past and I was interested, and then you gave me a full performance. It's one of the best I've ever seen.
Thank you very much.
Your brochure, I love it. It's very understated as far as the cover, which also I think reflects your style of business. But inside, it's one of the nicest, well laid out brochures I think I've ever seen. And I love the simplicity of the logo with the various types. We keep it efficient, we keep it specialised, we keep it fireproof, we keep it small, we keep them comfortable, and we keep it cool. Loved it. Very easy to follow, and we'll go into that in a minute. Now, who did all the marketing for you?
We did it mainly ourselves, to be honest. We have some freelancers who support us with some artwork, but in general we do a lot ourselves.
Well, I've got to say, whoever you've been using, keep using them. They're worth their weight in gold. Now, people are so when you're talking about cans and boxes, I mean, you produce every single different type of aircraft container.
In general, yes. However, we do not manufacture standard pallets and standard baggage containers. That we don't do. Yeah.
So, and that's what I'm saying. You're on the specialist side, and we'll come to the specialisation in a minute. But the way you do things and the way you've done things, again, I think is absolutely superb. And people, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get people firstly to know the person behind the position. So we're getting to know you a little bit better, and I'm sure we were talking about internationalising businesses and families, and I'm sure you'd like to say thank you for your grandfather for giving you such a nice, easy international name to transfer.
Yeah, that's very easy. So I did exactly the same to my kids, give them unpronounceable names internationally.
And we'll come to them shortly, but that's another good thing yourselves. But for people who are thinking of coming into the industry, they might not readily even think of aircraft containers. Most people don't. But you've got a great series of innovative units, and you've got space satellite, you've got NATO, United Nations, you've got the A400, the stowage container. Can you just tell us about some of the specialist containers that you produce?
Yeah, sure. We are at our very best when customers come to us with a certain specification, when they know what they need, or at least what kind of problem they would like to solve. Having said that, we have some standardized products as well, but the products you were just referring to were all customers who had a very good idea what kind of problem needed to be solved. From that moment on, our sales engineering team starts to work on proposals in 3D, and we work with the team to make it work. And it seems to be the case that it works fairly often quite well.
No, very good. But now, explain to the people listening now, we were speaking about satellites.
Yeah, that's a product that we have made for transporting space satellites. On every satellite there's a solar array panel, and they need to be transported. Very delicate type of equipment, so need to be transported, conditioned, shockproof, and we've made a very special container to also need also to be dust free, by the way, quite important as well.
Yeah.
So under pressure, all those things needed to be incorporated in one unit. That was already quite challenging. Most challenging part was that we only had 4 months to make it work as well.
That's incredible. And it's completely sealed, as you said, because of the dust-free requirement.
Yeah, and it had to also be, normally they're always transported under a certain amount of pressure. So, yeah, difficult.
I know, very difficult. Now, the A400, the stowage.
Yeah, that's installed in every A400M. It's a military aircraft, Airbus manufacturers. And when they fly it with a full cargo roll, all the troopers' seats need to be removed. So all those seats and the oxygen needs to be placed inside one of our containers. So it's installed in every aircraft on the ramp.
That's amazing. And the NATO and the UN nations.
Yeah, all similar type of containers where they have storage issues. Or the United Nations, we made a sort of village where they could store all spare parts for operations.
It's amazing. I think what we do, Salem, is when we put this up, we'll take a few pictures and put the pictures up, because I'm amazed, and I've been in this business for years and years and years. Now, the other thing that caught my eye when I walked past your stand, obviously, is the collapsible pallet, and how quickly you and your colleague were able to do that.
Yeah, even guys in a suit were able to do it.
Even guys in a suit were able to do it, exactly. But that was great. Now, why did you decide to do that?
The inflatable container was already in a very old idea, where I tried to persuade my colleagues to start working on it, and they keep laughing at me. So yeah, inflatable container, sure.
Yeah.
At some point I saw some other products, and at one of our customers I saw an inflatable tent, and not one where you see when you're walking around the camping, but a very professional, very large tent, inflatable, extremely strong and durable. And
Glamping?
No, really for military use.
Okay.
And at that point I was convinced we should build an inflatable container.
Yeah.
So I showed the picture to my colleagues, and then they said, okay, this could work. And main reason we are doing this because we see many airlines are facing imbalances, having shortages of ULDs at one place,
yep,
and surplus of ULDs at another place,
yep,
and they don't have a good solution to get them to another location.
Yep.
Or sometimes completely disassembling them, or ocean freight. It can all be done, but it's time consuming and not very effective.
Oh, they were very good. And how many can you stack once they're in a deflated stature?
On a lower deck position, you could stack 5. On a main deck position, 8 or 9, depending on the location.
Okay, and then the same thing with the collapsible pallet.
Yeah, you mean the AAY, so it's for the 73, 757 aircraft, the freighter aircraft.
Yeah,
it's same issue. Also, there is a storage issue. It's a round type of container, so it's very difficult to store them. And that we have just. It's also very difficult to position this unit, but that's a mechanical, so it's not inflatable.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
also very easy to operate.
But both. I thought were fantastic. Now, the small, the bin, the AKE, that's primarily for e-commerce, yeah?
Yeah, e-commerce, but also leasing and also, so part of the express, the parcel industry.
Yeah, no, it's good. And when you say leasing, you also allow your units to be going out to the pooling experts?
We hope so, yes, definitely.
Yes, there's an opportunity out there, yeah? So Jettainer and Uniload will be listening in, I'm sure.
Yeah, and ACL Airshop, please listen as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sorry, mustn't leave them out. Now, your other areas, like the collapsible horse stalls.
Yeah, that's already a product we have been manufacturing for the last 18 or 20 years. I don't recall correctly, but it's a fairly old product. We have been improving it over time and time. And now it's one of our best-selling products.
It's fantastic, huh?
Yeah, it's really amazing.
Really, really amazing piece of work. And now, some of your client base, obviously, they like to keep things close to their chest, and it's not so well known. So you're pretty used to dealing with confidentiality and restricted practices.
Yeah, that's correct. We cannot disclose all our customers, or at least not the products we manufacture for them. Especially in the high-tech industry, it's quite common that we are not allowed to disclose technology or even use the name on our website. Which
again reflects in your brochure. It's very neutral, but with promotion of VRR.
Yeah, no choice.
Like now, another thing that obviously don't want to frighten people, but things that everybody knows now with the various lithium batteries and the fire risk. You've also done a lot of research, and you've got a product on the market now with regards to fire containment. Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. It's we see this as a serious risk for airlines. However, which is quite strange in my humble opinion, that the regulations are still not so strict on fireproofness of ULDs.
Yep. And do you think because again for people to know, obviously one of the most important things is if a fire breaks out on an aircraft, you've got X amount of time to get to an alternate or to get it on the ground. Yeah,
and then if you would take a look at our website, we have tested a container, a standard container, also built by ourselves, and it took maybe 2.5 to 3 minutes before it was completely gone. So the X amount of time is fairly short.
Very short, huh? Yeah. And now, what in your opinion, what are the best preventive measures that are available at the moment? Because obviously I see some of them you've got your own built-in fire extinguishers, but that still requires somebody to activate it.
Yeah, but I think the first thing you want to do first, keep it out, keep some of the lithium batteries out, which at least are undeclared. I think the problem is mainly has to do with undeclared batteries. Declared, if properly packaged, should be okay. So you want to scan it up front. Yep. Don't let it in the aircraft. And if you let them in the aircraft, have at least a fire-resistant container. That I would definitely recommend. If I would be a pilot, I would only fly with fire-resistant containers.
And it's something that everybody's got to be aware of. And commercially, is one argument, but safety of the aircraft and people is the most important. So certain things have to change now within e-commerce, parcel, post. There's too many opportunities, for things to happen unaccounted for, but also even intentional.
Yeah, but quite a few things have happened already, and some cargo planes went down. But nobody besides our little industry knows about, because only a few fatalities are there. But I think it will be a big issue once a passenger aircraft will come down.
Yeah, well, blimey, we better.
Let's hope it will not happen. By the way.
Exactly. Let's keep everybody calm. It's still one of the safest ways to travel.
Absolutely.
Now, getting obviously with such a, I wouldn't say it's a burden, but 3 generations of experts and innovators. How do you wind down? What do you do in your spare time?
I like to spend time with my family. Obviously, this industry is a lot about traveling and visiting customers worldwide. So whenever I'm at home, I'm really trying to be at home, spend time with the kids, having fun with them, have fun with my wife as well. Yeah, obviously.
There you go. So your wife, Ilva, yeah?
Yes, correct.
There you go. So Ilva, when he gets home, there'll be more fun.
Let's hope so.
Yeah. And the 2 boys, we said about names. I think it's incredible. And again, I can't pronounce them, but I would have a stab at one of your lads' names, Stig.
Yeah.
But I know that's wrong.
Yeah,
Stayer, but it looks to me like Stig, so obviously Top Gear influenced. And then Chevy.
Chevy, yeah.
Chevy. So I'm sorry, lads, but I think you're going to have thick skin if you follow in your dad's footsteps and start travelling abroad, because it's a tough one. And I can't speak with my surname. It's a terrible surname. Most people say Nutter, not Notter. Now, 5 years' time, if I was to come back and see you, what innovations or what changes would you like to see in your sector?
What I would like to see is that innovation is becoming more integrated, not only with ourselves but also a bit more with other companies. We see still nowadays is fairly the same type of containers which are already in the market since the early 80s.
Yeah. And so you'd like to see what sort of innovation, what sort of new creativity or controls would you like to see?
I think the automation is important. Track and trace, it's gaining traction now, but it's still a lot of things need to be done. I think the whole collapsible part will be interesting, whether it will be inflatable or collapsible, and I think also in fireproofness, there also needs a lot of work to be done for the next 5 years.
Okay, and what's your opinion now? I used to travel all over the world as well, looking at handling agents and carriers and locations, etc. The way containers are handled and treated is, I just can't describe. It's something that anybody who's responsible for it, they should be ashamed. They should be ashamed.
I fully agree.
And it's terrible.
But it's not only the ground handlers, I think it's also the airlines who have
it's everybody. It's everybody. Airlines turn a blind eye if it's not theirs, but they like to put it in the SLA. And ground handlers, they know what they should be doing, and there's no excuse for it.
No,
and the damage, the cost of repair to the industry every year. If you could transfer a proportion of that into training and development and succession and bringing new blood into the industry, it would be far better used.
Yeah, but it's completely true. But there has been a lot of talking in this industry, but no real actions. And we keep on talking about the same topics over and over. And I think it was you who said at a certain meeting some words I will not repeat here, but I thought it was very fair where you commented that we should stop applauding for each other and doing nothing. That's a polite way of how I interpreted your words.
Very good. Yeah, very good. Yeah, sometimes I'm a little bit too blunt, probably.
No, I can be blunt as well, but
no, but I appreciate that. But it really, I just when people, they always looking at bottom lines and reducing prices, procurement driven, and then you've got such waste. And if we reuse those funds, it would be so much better.
Yeah, but it has to be a CEO decision, I think, because if purchasers are still awarded with nice bonuses, if they reduce the kilo price for ground handling, you will definitely know you will get more damages over the time.
Yeah, and so maybe now with better understanding of data sharing and statistics and blockchain, etc., it would be good that the industry started to do some sort of comparison ratio.
I would definitely hope so, but then you need to have people who can interpret those data very well, and that's not so easy, I think.
Yeah, but it's something that would be good. Now, music, can I ask you, if I was to ask your wife Ilva, what is the song that would make you get up and dance and go crazy, what would it be?
Let's start first with a few beers.
Very good. Yeah.
Because dancing is not in my standard repertoire. And then another few beers, and then what I do like Michael Jackson. That's
really,
but I'm not sort of dancer like Michael Jackson. So I want to be very clear on that.
Well,
as
most people could after 6 beers. So
we think so. We think so.
And which one of his tracks?
Oh, I like many of them. No specific one.
Yeah, and as far as bucket lists, I ask people as well, just to, anything special that you'd like to do that you haven't done already?
Oh, that's a tricky question. I've done already so many great things in life. Oh, specific bucket? No. No, sorry.
No?
No one. No, nothing.
Nothing at all. You've done everything that you want to do.
Oh, the majority
And
of it.
now you've done a podcast.
Yeah.
Now you've done a podcast.
This was the last thing on my bucket list.
Last thing. Exactly. Right, no, seriously, and I know how busy you are and you need to get back on the stand. So thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And I said that we'd come up with a name which will be on your book. Okay?
Yeah.
It'll be on the book. And so what I've put down is 3 generations of innovators, all with a crazy name.
That's a great name.
Okay, so that's the name for your book. And can't wait to have a few beers with you and get you on the dance floor.
Thank you very much.
And
let's do that.
Again, to the 2 boys, so sorry about the pronunciation, but Stig and Chevy, I'm sure you're going to enjoy coming into the family business.
The 4th generation.
Yep, that's it. Good luck to you all.
Thank
you
very much.
so much. And again, beautiful stands, beautiful brochure, and really, really nice products. I really enjoyed that time. And your colleagues who were good enough to do the putting it up, putting it down, that was brilliant.
Thank you very much, Chris.
Thank you.
Very much appreciate it.
Thank you.